gear seekers, I'm Nick. Back at PAXOS 2018, we did a live installation of the M360 Plus custom loop kit on the show floor. A lot of you guys, both in Discord and in the comment section leading up to and after PAX, actually asked us to do this unboxing because you weren't sure what was in the kit. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that button right now and turn on that little bell to receive notifications. We upload basically every single day of the week, so do yourself a big old favor and make sure that you are subscribed. In this video, we're gonna unbox the Thermaltake M360 Plus liquid cooling kit and take a closer look at all the little bits you get in the box, and just be aware, this is not a review. I'm going to talk about basically everything in this kit in a moderate amount of detail and try not to bore you with a heap of water cooling talk. So get comfortable and let's dive in, because it's water. Yeah. Alright, let's check out the M360 Plus liquid cooling kit. This part of the box shows you every single thing in the box, which basically renders this entire video useless. I'm kidding. This is the installation guide. You may or may not need that. First up is the silicone insert. This is great and actually required when you're heating the tubes and bending them so they don't collapse on themselves. It's actually really good that they've included this in the kit. Alright, what do we got next? We've got the PETG tubes. Now this is of the 16mm variety. Just be aware though, I probably will recommend that if this is your first time building a custom loop, buy more of this stuff. You can never have too much tubing. Alrighty, let's check out that beautiful RGB Waterblock. This will actually support all Intel desktop motherboards as well as AM4 and also Intel's high-end desktop platforms as well. Let's crack this guy open and see what you get inside of the packaging. First thing is an installation guide and some documentation that basically tells you what everything is. Next up is the RGB Waterblock itself. It is constructed very, very well and it looks really nice. You'll also notice the two ports for inlet and outlet on the top of the Waterblock itself, and the Intel bracket is pre-installed. Next up is the RGB controller, and as you're about to see, there are quite a few of these guys in the kit. These are all of the cables required to connect up the RGB controller. All of the controllers in this kit have this amount of cabling. However, you don't need to use it. You only will probably need to use maybe 1 or 2 controllers for this entire installation. Next up is the bag full of all of the goodies to actually mount it. This is the back plate. This is required for Intel desktop motherboards and also AM4 motherboards as well. However, it is not required for the Intel high-end desktop motherboards. In this little baggie here, we've got the included thermal paste and the AM4 mounting brackets, as well as a little Allen key to change the bracket on the water block itself. And the rest of the stuff in the big baggie is all of the mounting gear for all of the sockets. So you've got stuff for your Intel high-end desktop platform stuff. What else have we got in here? We've got all the thumb nuts and basically everything that you're going to need to mount the water block to your motherboard. There's also a 1 litre bottle of coolant. Now this coolant is different to other coolants that you might see on the market, as it allows you to use a mixed metal loop without any corrosion. This is a special formula because this loop has mixed metals. There's also a 3-pack of the Ring Plus fans. Let's pull it out and take a closer look. Now we've featured these in quite a few builds on the channel already, but I've never actually showed you what's in the box. So what we're going to do is have a look at what comes in the box. Okay, let's take a look at what we got in here. There we go. These look familiar. All the cables that came with the water block, they're basically identical. There are 3 of the Ring Plus fans in here as well. Yep, I counted 3. Did you guys count 3? There's also all of the mounting screws and bolts and all of that other jazz for the fans. Oh, and look at that. Another RGB controller. You can never have too many. Next up is the PumpRes Combo. Now this PumpRes Combo is also RGB, and yes, it includes another RGB controller. Let's take it out of the box and see what you get inside. Hey, what do you know? Another RGB controller. You've got 2 mounting brackets. There's 1. There's number 2. Let's get the whole PumpRes Combo out so you can take a closer look at it. And all of the cables fall out, and they're the same ones that with the other RGB controllers. Now the res itself is actually quite large and it uses a D5 pump, and yeah, take a look. This is all of the things that come with it. I don't know what more to say about it. You guys can clearly see all of these bits here. Alright, let's grab all of the fittings that come with the kit, and it's most of what you need to do a custom loop. You can build a custom loop with this amount of fittings, but I would probably recommend getting a couple more. This little tool is designed to turn on your power supply so you don't fry your motherboard if you have an accidental leak or whatnot. It's a very, very handy tool, and I suggest you buy one even if you're building a loop anyway. It also includes 8 of these hardline compression fittings. They will only work with 16mm pipes. Anything thinner, and I guarantee you it will leak and it won't be very, very nice. It also includes 2 of these 90-degree rotary fittings. These are great if you're in a bit of a tight spot with the hardline tube. I love these. Here's a little spanner that'll help you get all your fittings onto all of your connection points nice and tight so you don't get any unwanted leaks. Last but not least is the 360mm radiator. This will allow you to attach all 3 of those RGB fans. Now this radiator is considerably thicker than most radiators that you'll find at 64mm. It's very thick. Okay, let's take a look and see what you get inside. You get a little bit of documentation, and you also get this cool little RGB strip that sticks to the side of the radiator to make the radiator RGB. Pretty cool, right? Next up is, guess what? Another RGB controller. And all of the nuts and all the bolts and all of the extra plugs and the cables to get this guy lit up and not leaking. And as you can see, this radiator is quite big and quite thick. I like it. It's a thick boy if I ever saw one. Alright. We're going to be using this kit in an upcoming build that we can't talk about just yet, but trust me guys, it'll be worth the wait. I think these kits are good for first-time custom loop builders who want to dip their toes in doing a hardline system and not spend a crazy amount of money because, yeah, if you have to buy all the parts individually, it can get quite expensive. If you're interested in grabbing one of these kits, there's a link in the description. They're going for around about $500 US right now, and I know that sounds like a lot of money, but considering you get almost everything you need to build your own custom loop, I think it's a fairly decent price. I know from experience that I've spent over $1,000 US on a single loop, and I've done that more than once. The only thing missing from this kit is probably like a valve or a drainage tap or something like that, and a couple more compression fittings would be nice too. Anyway, we'll talk about that when we actually do the build. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, you know what to do, and tell us what you hated about it. Once again, thank you so very much for watching. I'm your boy Nick with Gear Seekers. You peek, we seek, and all of the other things. I don't know. We're doing a custom loop build with this thing. Get excited guys, it's gonna be sick.